Jimmy's Jam Box. Keep jamming. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hi, I'm Salyce.
Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about, like where you're from, what you do, all about you and your music.
Okay, so I'm an artist from Vancouver, Washington. I've been singing and writing songs since I can remember, honestly, since I was a kid. Always been very musically just inspired, But yeah, I make all my beats. I went to an art school, so I was kind of like trained in like all the different arts, and I focused mainly on like singing, but I found my love was for producing music and like kind of audio engineering. So that's kind of where I put like a lot of my effort into like my songwriting and stuff now. But yeah, that's just kind of like where I am right now. Like
that's
Salyce.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And do you play any instruments?
Yeah, actually, I have played piano for a really long time as well. Yeah, that's really the only one though. Yeah, that and like my voice, I consider like vocals
very much an instrument. Yeah. And then like when was like the first like musical moment for you?
Ooh, oh my god. Man, this could go back like a while. I feel like in like elementary school, I used to like imitate Lady Gaga, like Beyonce.
I mean, everybody imitated Beyonce.
Like I would make up and like write out like album soundtracks or like track lists, and it would be like my future album track list. And I was like, this is, whatever my artist name was back then. I wasn't always Salyce, but yeah, I feel like those are my early like music days.
Okay, hell yeah. Actually, before we go on to the next question, something you just said made me think of this. I might want to make this an actual question in the future. Yeah. What was your first musical name?
My first musical name. Oh my god. Okay. So I was Salyce, but I'm pretty sure the reason why I stopped using it was because there's a band called Salyce. So I really could not call myself Salyce. But I called myself that because my dad would like sing a little chant around the house. He'd be like, Sydney Salyce. And that's just like my first and my middle name, kind of like in a little ditty.
Okay.
And so, yeah, when I realized I couldn't do Salyce, I was like, damn, I really like using my middle name, Salyce, part of it. I really want that to like be part of my like music stuff. And so I combined that with my first name, the initial of my first name, Sydney, and Salyce was born. But yeah, Salyce was my first one. Like from what I can remember, I'm sure I called myself other things like as a child, but like I took Salyce seriously. But yeah, R.I.P. Salyce.
Yes. Well, coincidentally, you answered a future question, which was, how'd you pick your name? Well, we'll circle back to where we're at on this part. And this next one is one we ask early. It's one we ask often. And it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought?
Ooh, okay. It has to be, okay, does it have to be like for my money or like first, CD?
Yeah, like let's do first one you bought with your own money.
With my own money. Okay, that's funny because I feel like CDs were kind of like falling off by the time that I started buying my own music. So it would have to be my friend's mixtape.
Okay.
His name is Mubarak, and he would like rap and stuff in high school. I don't know if he still does it, but like he was my inspiration. Well, hey, I bought his first mixtape.
If anybody knows if he still is, Put him in the comments. Let's get him on the show.
Right? He was really talented. He was my bestie from like, elementary school all the way till I graduated.
Okay.
So yeah, that's definitely like the one that I bought.
Hey, that's
first.
actually that's a really cool answer. Like, because I've definitely had a lot of people now that are kind of on the other side of that line where they're like, I've never bought a physical thing.
Yeah.
But they'll always like, oh, the first thing I downloaded though, or like the first one I had in the house. So it's cool that yours is actually like, somebody you knew.
Yeah.
That's an answer I haven't gotten before. So I really enjoy that.
It's definitely a core memory.
Oh yeah. And then tell us about the first show you ever went to.
Like a concert?
Yeah, that like was one you like wanted to go to.
Oh my God. Okay, that would have to be the American Idol like season 10 I don't even remember what season was, but I was a kid and we were obsessed with like I don't know, like Jessica and like that one guy. So I don't remember their names, but I was a huge fan and my mom got me tickets and I didn't realize she actually took me all the way to Portland, like Moda Center, and she was like, "We're here to see the Wiggles." And I was like, okay.
That's amazing. That's so, and you were just down. You're like,
I was just down.
All right, I guess we're seeing the Wiggles.
I'm already here. And then we get there and the fucking concert starts and it's obviously American Idol and I'm like shitting my pants. Like it was amazing. But yeah, definitely another core memory.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's so funny. I love that. I love that so much. All right, now let's go ahead and dive on into you as the artist. And like I said, we got the first question out of the way, which was how did you pick your name? So let's go ahead and talk about your writing process. Okay. And as somebody who does a bulk of it, which I think is really cool, I'm sure there's a lot to talk about, but I want to focus specifically on when you get inspired. So when you're in the music making mood, what are the things that you do in the beginning every time? So I know we change it up every instance, but like what are those core movements that you go to every time to like get into the flow of things? And then after that, what decides a song is done?
Oh my God. Okay. So first of all, I feel like I definitely run to like writing lyrics first. Like that it's just because, it's like my immediate reaction to something. Like these are the words in my head and like, eventually I'll probably make it prettier, sound nicer. But like right now, these are the thoughts. And like I'll even like have a song title already made up for it because like that's just how I feel.
Do you mind if I ask real quick?
Yeah.
So when you hear, like, do you hear the words? Or like, do you kind of like think them? Like, do you hear them in your head or do you like?
It's definitely like a conjoined thing. It's like, imagine someone just like punched you in the dick and like, what's your like immediate reaction? Like, wow, fuck you. Like that was awful. Like just like that's all you need. I feel like nowadays, honestly, anytime. I feel like lyrics are a lot more simple than people put them out to be. Like, that's why it's like up to listeners and like viewers to interpret a lot of the time like what artists are really saying because they could be saying a lot of different shit. It's like what they're saying is very broad. But I don't know. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. That's really cool. I get kind of just to tack one more thing onto that small question there. Do you hear it musically? Like, do you imagine it musically, or do you just imagine phrases and then add music to it after?
Definitely comes with a melody. It definitely premeditated melody. Like I feel like I kind of float around with some melodies already in there, and that's just kind of like I reuse something or like remake something I already did, and I make it like cooler, like melody wise. But. Yeah, usually when I'm thinking up of a phrase, like there's a little melody behind it. Like everything has like an intention. Like if it's really like if this is a strong emotion, like it's gonna be a strong like belt, or it's gonna be like a high note, or I feel like everything has intention.
Okay,
definitely.
And then from there, once you have that down, what are the next steps after that?
Ooh, in terms of like finishing and like completing a song, I feel like I don't think I'm ever really done with my songs. Like,
well, I guess not done, but when do you decide it's ready to put out?
Yeah. Gosh, I've always held myself to like an extremely high standard, so it has to sound super professional. It has to sound, as good as like the modern day, like who's on the radio, like how does it sound there. I want it to sound like that. I want my vocals to pop. Like I feel like I just get very like nitpicky. Just that's like the audio engineer side of me. Like it needs to sound balanced. Like there needs to be like eargasms here and there, and there needs to be tension sometimes and release, and like I don't know. I could just fucking talk all day.
No, totally. And you seem to have a lot of intent and thought towards your music, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah,
because it's like, and it's cool because even your comment earlier about how lyrics don't have to be complicated; they're up to listener interpretation. Mm-hmm. That was there was a similar, not so much that specific, but the interpretation aspect was a topic of earlier on another episode, and it's cool to kind of hear that out in the wild. So that was very well put.
Hell yeah.
Now, do you perform regularly?
I have been actually. This year I decided I wanted to start performing again. Like I said, I went to an art school, so I was frequently like doing choir concerts, and because I had to experience every art form, that was like a requirement there.
Interesting.
I also had to like showcase that in front of like the whole school at least once every year. So like I was definitely like pushing my boundaries and like put to the test every year, but like in a great way. It was really like audience training. It was really getting you ready for like the real world, like stage wise and like show wise. But anyway, after I graduated from there, I obviously like did not have anything like that.
Yeah.
So like very big empty gap and like void for like the COVID years especially. I like had no inspiration, no motivation to like do anything musically inclined. So finally this year, I like after making a couple of songs that I felt like were bangers and like needed to be heard. For the first time, like, I felt that way about my music, like a lot of my early shit is like high school thoughts and boys and what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Like, this is like real adult shit that like I'm experiencing and like I feel like people would vibe to. And this is like peak fucking music for me. So this year was the year that came out of hiding per se, and I was just like, I'm gonna take my fucking self seriously. Like, this is obviously my passion, my purpose on this earth. Like I felt like being on stage was just fulfilling that void that was gone for so long, connecting with audiences, bringing people together with music of all things. Like, that's such a vulnerable art form sometimes. Like going to shows and like it's some people's first show, it's some people's like 11th. So like everyone's nerves are like everywhere. Like so I just really enjoy it. It's just been a really like good like life is going up for me right now ever since I started performing again. And like
tell us about like either your most favorite or if you have too many, like one of the craziest performances you've ever done.
Oh my God, they've been pretty tame so far. Gosh, I really did love Pop Fever. Alana Rich invited me like last second to open for her little show at Sugar Hill, and it was so fun. It was like the first time that I was like surrounded by a crowd and like they stayed the whole time and like vibed with my music, and I was like, this is like what creating fan base is.
Yeah.
And like watching the other girls perform, Alana and like Victoria Yabu, like they were so inspiring. Like people knew the lyrics to their songs. People like fucking streamed their music. They were real fans. And so I was like, wow, this could like be real for me. This could be possible. So that was like, yeah, definitely a highlight show for me so far.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm learning over time, especially as I talk to more people, because like I've played a handful of shows. I've talked to people who played way more shows than me, people that have played way less. And it's kind of, it's cool to experience people's experiences of shows, especially like as they go through the motions, because I think as long as you're learning something from every show you play, you're doing it right. You know what I mean? Even if it feels like you're doing the same set or you feel like doing too much of this or not enough of that, like the audience interpretation is going to be so different every time and in uncontrollable ways when we play different places. So taking something away and incorporating that into the future, that's when you're really building. And I think that's kind of one of the cooler parts of being a person who creates music who gets to perform.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now we've got one last question for the artist focus segment.
Sweet.
And this is a depth question.
Okay.
So what is it about music that matters the most? And not like what comes from it. So not by doing music, this happens. But when you're in the thick of it, when you are like, when everything is moving, all the wheels are turning, what is it about that moment that just makes you want to keep coming back to it?
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking about this earlier, like this phrase I just thought of, like, I feel like music is magic. I feel like that is real life magic. It's just wavelengths and waveforms and fucking vibrations and in a room filled with people. And I feel like the fact that a community can bond over just that simple, like, human feat, that, I don't know, that feeling, that sense of just, like, you know, music is definitely like magic in a way. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, not just say it's like the community and like it brings people together, but like there's something about it that brings people together. Like there's something about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People get so inspired by music that they can just start dancing to like anything. I'm like,
But like, let's zoom the focus in a little bit. I said, for the process itself, then let's two-part this. What is it in the process that you love the most? Like, is it like hearing it at the end, or like when you're like, oh, I thought of this perfect layer? Like, for me, it's when I find accidental harmonies. Like when I'm just like, okay, I need to play a new thing. Ooh. Like every single time that happens, I've got at least another hour in me. I don't know why, but every single time.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, like surprising yourself with, you know, oh, I just did that, or oh yeah, I just fucking murdered that. Like, I think those are definitely what keeps me going. Like and like listening to it over in the end and hearing like all of your progress, and I don't know. I feel like with every new song too is kind of like a milestone. You learn something new about yourself, engineering wise, vocally, however you do your shit, and you do it better the next time. You do it even better the next time. I don't know. I really love process. I really love just like the nitty gritty, the shitty. It's just like, I love it. And, you know, the fact that like I went to so many audio engineering classes just for it, like it's some real like geeky shit, but you know, I dig it. And it really like, it matters when it comes to like the quality of your music, the sound, like the ping, like everything matters. It's people like don't realize how like down to the fucking math it is. It's kind of aggravating, but I just, the process itself is just everything. I can't like just choose one thing, because like at the end of the day, everything is what creates your song, is what creates your shit.
Yeah. No, that great answer.
Okay, good.
Great answer.
I was about to say shit answer, but
because I mean it's honest. First of all, that that's the reality of it, is that in the process it does suck. I don't know if I don't think I've shared this story on the show yet, so I'll share it here. I had my moment for the show, and it was like a Thursday. It was like 2 a.m. I had worked the next day. I had just been working on this. It was like a really long episode, and nothing was going right. I don't know why. Like I was just in the thick of it, and it was really early on, and I couldn't figure out like what like everything wasn't adding up. And in that moment, I was like, this is that moment that I should hate. Like this is the moment where everything should be going no.
Yeah.
And none of that was there. Like I was just Like my only thought, the only thought I had going was, got to get this finished. Like that, like, and there was no doubt. There was no, like, I reflected on this afterwards. Like the next day I remembered that and was like, wow. So like, I think it's those moments. Like, and I don't think a lot of people like look for those kinds of things. You know what I mean? Like they don't take the time to like look at what they're giving themselves. It's such a bountiful gift to be able to make music.
Yeah.
And I don't think enough people take time to sit in that and enjoy it. It's fun. Like when music stops being fun to make, why are you making it? Why are you not having fun anymore?
Yeah, like I find myself, being in a very like frustrating situation, like exactly like you said, but I'm just not frustrated at all because it's what I love.
Exactly.
And like I'm so happy that I like found that, there's people out there that like have jobs they hate and like, don't have a passion, don't have a drive, feel like they don't have a purpose. And yeah, it's such a gift to be able to like create and like even just down to like the engineering. It's all an art form. It really is.
Definitely. All right. Now, actually, I want to tack on one more question. Part of your answer kind of made me think of one, and I guess it would only be right to mention there's another job that you do that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And I know it's a family-owned one. And if you would like to tell a little bit about the story and maybe a little bit about how, like, I assume that, seeing like, your mom is the entrepreneur that she was for the business. Yeah. How has that inspired you?
Oh, man. Like, my mom is my superhero for sure. I don't know. I mean, watching her like quit this job and like, this kind of family that she had like at the office and like just.
And that was at a previous job, correct?
Yeah, the previous job. Yeah. And just like fucking bust ass and create a whole new one for herself. I was just like, I was a little young at the time to like truly understand because I was still, I don't know, like postgraduate, kind of a little bit in my like asshole college era. So I was like, I don't fucking need a job. Like, she was like offering me like, training, and not until like, I feel like she had the salon, I think, that I actually was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it too. Like this is probably the only job I might ever get. Cause dude, like it was so hard to get a job back in like COVID. But yeah, being an esthetician is honestly such a blessing. Like I know people bust their ass for longer hours in a day to make as much as we do in like the few hours that we have to work. And it's like so therapeutic at the same time. Like maybe I'm like busting my back, maybe, but like I'm making people pretty and I'm like pretty much gossiping with them all day, and like I can just like go to Starbucks like in between. Like fuck it. So yeah, I really enjoy my day job. Definitely have a passion with that. Like a newfound passion. I definitely was not interested at first. Like I said, I was more into like makeup. I was like, I'll be an esthetician, but like for makeup. That never happened. That's a lot harder. But, people like the demand for lashes is a little more high, I guess. If you like look into the right places. But yeah, my day job is also a blessing, and, just enjoying life, enjoying the wave. That is life right now.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which is all hypothetical questions. And have fun with these. There are no wrong answers. Okay. If you could work with any one artist who's currently alive, okay, and if it's a group, you have to pick an individual member of the group, who would you, or like, we'll span it out. Somebody musically related. Okay. Yeah. Who would you work with and how would you work with them?
Okay. There's so many, but like I want to be like silly and give a very like unique answer. The band Gorillaz.
Oh yeah.
Duh.
I was gonna say, I know a few people that'll watch this episode and go, Jimmy knows Gorillaz. Yeah.
I was gonna say the Gorillaz almanac over there.
Yep.
I was just thinking about them. But fucking Noodle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love
wow.
her. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh my God, I grew up on that bitch. She is such a baddie. Like I live for Noodle. She's so fucking dope. And she's like talented as hell. She's like a 12-year-old. I mean, I know she grew up, but like, like I love the art.
Because she's art, would it technically be drew up? That's my one. I get one dumb joke every episode. That was it. But that might be one of my favorite answers. I love that.
See, like, I love her. And I feel like, each member of the Gorillas, they obviously have their little role. And, like, she was, like, the baddie little assassin ass, like,
yep,
party gal. And I loved it.
Hell yeah.
Me,
Great answer.
Salyce Noodle collab win.
Hey, Noodle, if you want to make that, if anybody knows her,
Noodle,
let's make it happen.
you.
Put it in the comments. All right. And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of, but you haven't had a chance to connect with yet, but you would like to?
Ooh, that's a good one. Definitely have like my eyes on some people. I mean, like, man, because I've connected with people that like I love already. But maybe like on another level, like collaborate and like get closer to. Who was it? I'm just gonna go with like an easy one. Victoria Boo, like I mentioned her earlier.
Yeah.
We like compliment each other on the gram, but like, that's just Instagram.
Yeah.
Love to like, do something
Hell yeah.
more. Yeah, I definitely admire her and like her ish. I think she's also an esthetician. She does like makeup. So
yeah. That would be a cool collaboration.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you could perform anywhere in the world and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or power or lineup, it was guaranteed best show ever.
Ooh.
Anywhere in the world. Sky's the limits, literally, because it's just got to be on the planet. Where would you pick?
Okay, immediately Sydney, Australia.
I don't know how I didn't see that. That's a wow.
I like thought of like beautiful and also like why? Because I'm Sydney and also that like the area like the area where it's like I think like a museum, it's like a glass building like right in front of there on the water. Like I want to be like on the water. I don't know. I just thought of like the most amazing you just like put that in my head.
Oh, well, there we go.
I'm gonna make it happen.
There we go. All right, Sydney, Australia. You know what to do. Somebody in the comments. All right. and then to wrap it up, if you had to perform a completely different genre than you've ever performed before, and if you've done like a cross-genre song, both of those are off the table, and you would be equally as proficient as your main one now, what would you pick? However, you can't choose country and you can't choose electronic music.
Okay, fair enough. I would have to go with probably jazz. Like orchestral even.
Okay.
I don't know. I love like classical music even. If I can get into like opera.
Okay.
Like shit. I honestly though, on like a serious note, like how like Lady Gaga's got those jazz nights in like Vegas. Like I'm trying to be like on that level.
Okay.
Oh my God, I always imagine myself singing along with the jazz band at my high school, and obviously it never happened, but like I always imagine I'd be singing some like sexy song, and like they'd be like playing their like saxophone or whatever. Yeah, I'm a good you into jazz? You like jazz?
You like jazz?
You like jazz?
That's such a fun note to end this on. All right, we're gonna start wrapping it up. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what's coming up in the near future, saying like end of October onwards?
So I'm still like planning out some things, but pretty sure we're doing a Halloween show.
Oh, exciting.
And like the weekend of Halloween. I don't think it's right on Halloween. But
Halloween's on a Tuesday.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the 28th. Not like completely sure on the deets yet. It's not like all confirmed, but definitely like going to update on my Instagram and all that. But yeah, I'm just like out in the town. You know, you can find me at the Alibi Tiki Lounge, karaokeing it up.
Okay, yeah.
I fucking love karaoke. Like, I'll get down. But yeah,
Do you have any like music coming out or anything like that in the rest of the year?
Honestly, I have some plans, but I'm withholding my music until further notice.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for the right time
Gotcha.
to like let them out, you know?
I totally get that.
Yeah.
All right, and then for this next one, go ahead and look at the camera and tell people how they can find you.
I'm on Instagram at Salyce, and I don't have Twitter anymore. The Twitter's still there, but it's not active. Don't look on it, honestly. I got a website, salycemusic.com. Find me there. Find me on SoundCloud, my old music, Salyce. And I got some archival music videos from years and years ago on YouTube, Salyce Official. If you can find it, good luck. But that's just me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Love you, Portland. Love you, Portland.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now we've got one more question to go. But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second.
Okay.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do. And I trust you. And with that being said, the final question. What is your guilty pleasure song?
Guilty pleasure song? Ooh. Okay. Define guilty pleasure. Because like, I know, but I don't.
Yeah, like let's say like one that like every time you hear it, everybody might go like, oh God, but you're just like, yep, that's it. That's that song.
Gee. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. What's like something that people, because like I'm also on the hate train sometimes. I get annoyed real easily. I am very irritable. So, you know, I might also be on the side of like, hey, I don't fuck with that. But maybe let's go with like that's such a hard question.
Let's say.
What about like, okay, I'm going to go with, because I am a stan, Ariana Grande. Anything Ariana Grande.
I think a lot of people like her.
A lot of people like her, but like there's some songs.
Let's say, what's like a silly song?
Silly song?
Yeah.
Silly, goofy, silly. She's doing some sign language over there. I think I understand half of it.
I think you could just say it. It's all right.
Yeah, just say it.
Little Mermaid song.
The Little Mermaid song?
Oh, okay.
Do people not like the Little Mermaid song?
I mean, it's definitely a I wouldn't say it's a silly song per se, but
I love Disney songs.
That's fair.
That's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's fair. Like you can't just like I mean, I guess you can just be driving down the road blasting Disney songs, but
right? I
assume majority
think that would
don't.
annoy. Like you're playing like, you know, some heavy trap, and you're like, hey guys, hand me the aux, and you just play Little Mermaid. I think that's
okay. Okay, perfect. That is a great answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
Hell yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Salyce.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.